Most men walk through life thinking attraction is about the obvious: money, looks, status. But the truth is, what truly pulls a woman in runs much deeper. It's not what you show, it's what you carry. It's presence, energy, and subtle signals that say everything without saying a word. That's why some men, even without flashy success, draw women effortlessly. They move differently, they think differently, and most importantly, they understand themselves before trying to be understood by others. This video isn't about tips and tricks. It's about understanding the psychology behind what makes a man magnetic, without chasing, without talking too much, and without trying to impress. The type of man who walks into a room and naturally shifts the energy. The kind who gets attention not because he asks for it, but because he doesn't need it. This is about the hidden traits, quiet, powerful, and often unnoticed on the surface but felt immediately by women. If you've ever wondered why some men have that pull, that calm presence that seems to draw others in without effort, it's not luck. It's not fake confidence. It's a set of internal traits that can be developed. And once you understand them, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. So let's break down what makes a man irresistible. Not to impress women, but to embody something that naturally attracts. The first hidden trait is emotional independence. This means you're not reactive. You don't get pulled by emotions, especially not by hers. You don't beg for attention, approval, or validation. You're centered. You're the calm in the storm. And women feel that. In a world where most men either chase or fold, being emotionally grounded sets you apart without needing to prove anything. When a man controls his emotions, he controls the frame. And when he controls the frame, he controls the pace, the energy, the interaction. Women feel safer and more intrigued around men who are hard to shake. She'll test you, she'll push, but when you stay unmoved, when your validation isn't for sale, she leans in. Most men fail here. They react, they overshare, they explain. But a grounded man lets silence speak for him. He knows that what he doesn't say is often louder than what he does. Emotional independence isn't coldness, it's composure. And that energy, it's rare. That rarity is what pulls women in. Let's move to the next trait, the one that separates leaders from followers. Trait 2 is decisiveness. The ability to move forward without hesitation, to know what you want and own it. Women don't trust men who can't decide. Whether it's picking a place to eat or leading a conversation, hesitation is unattractive. Why? Because indecision signals uncertainty, and uncertainty kills polarity. Decisiveness isn't about controlling others. It's about showing that you trust yourself, that you don't need her to tell you what to do, that you're clear on your direction, with or without her input. When a man makes decisions from clarity, he becomes magnetic. Here's the key. Women don't just follow strength. They relax in the presence of it. A decisive man gives her space to let go of control. And in that space, attraction thrives. It's not about being forceful. It's about being certain. And that certainty makes all the difference. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. We're just getting started. Trait 3 is detachment. This doesn't mean not caring. It means not clinging. A detached man is outcome independent. He doesn't need things to go his way to stay grounded. And that makes him powerful, because the less you need something, the more attractive you become. When you're detached, rejection doesn't faze you. Silence doesn't scare you. She can pull back, and you don't chase. You give space. You observe. You remain whole either way. That's what women respect. Because detachment says, I'm full without you. It's a paradox. The men who care the least often attract the most, not because they're heartless, but because they're whole. Neediness kills attraction, and nothing screams neediness louder than being too available, too emotional, or too invested too soon. Detachment is control, not of her, but of yourself. And that's what makes her lean in. Trait 4 is non-reactivity. In every interaction, you're either the one who holds frame or the one who breaks it. Most men give their power away without realizing it. A slight change in her tone, a delayed text, a passive-aggressive comment, and they fold. They overthink. They respond emotionally. A non-reactive man does none of that. He doesn't flinch. He observes. He lets the moment pass through him without jumping to fix it or fight it. That calm energy communicates strength on a level most men never reach, and women feel it immediately. Non-reactivity is not about being indifferent. It's about staying composed when others expect you to break. It's being grounded when the situation turns chaotic. It's the ability to pause instead of panic. That pause is power, and that power is what keeps you in control of the frame. Let's talk about the next trait, the one that silently commands attention in any room. Trait 5 is presence. True presence means you are where you are, fully, not distracted, not drifting, not reaching for your phone every 10 seconds. Presence is rare. That's why it stands out. A man with presence doesn't try to dominate the space. He simply owns it. His energy isn't loud, but it's heavy. When he looks at you, he actually sees you. When he speaks, there's no rush, no filler, just weight behind his words. Women are incredibly sensitive to presence. They can tell within seconds if you're grounded or scattered, if you're in your body or stuck in your head. A present man makes her feel seen without performing. He listens without needing to impress. He holds silence without needing to fill it. This kind of presence doesn't come from tactics. It comes from inner stillness. And that stillness is trained through self-respect, boundaries, and real-world experience. Next, let's go deeper. Because presence is nothing without purpose. Trait 6 is purpose. A man without purpose is a man easily distracted. He's inconsistent, emotionally fragile, and easily thrown off center by rejection, attention, or validation. Women may entertain him, but they never chase him. Purpose is what makes you untouchable. It gives your life direction, which makes you harder to manipulate. A man with a mission doesn't revolve around women. He moves forward regardless of who's watching. That forward motion is attractive. It signals leadership, drive, and independence. When she senses you're driven by something greater than the need for her attention, she respects you more, even if she never says it. Purpose gives you clarity. It sets your priorities. And when your priorities are in place, you stop putting her on a pedestal. Purpose isn't optional. It's a core piece of masculine identity. Without it, you chase. With it, you attract. And that brings us to the final trait, the one that glues all the others together. Trait 7 is self-respect. Everything starts and ends here. A man who respects himself doesn't chase disrespect. He doesn't explain his worth. He doesn't argue for attention. He walks away when he needs to. Self-respect is what protects your energy. It filters what you tolerate. It defines how you speak, how you move, and who you give your time to. Women don't just feel this, they respond to it. Because when you value yourself, you teach others how to treat you. The reason most men don't get the respect they want is because they don't enforce it. They ignore red flags. They overextend. They stay too long. But a man with self-respect knows when to hold back, when to walk away, and when to say nothing. This isn't ego, it's standards, and high standards are magnetic. Now that we've broken down all 7 traits, let's pull it all together. Now you see the pattern. These traits don't stand alone. They work together. Emotional independence without purpose can make you cold. Presence without self-respect makes you vulnerable to manipulation. Detachment without clarity can turn into avoidance. But when all 7 align, something powerful happens. You stop trying to be attractive and start being undeniable. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about removing what was never you, the neediness, the insecurity, the overthinking. What's underneath all that is a man who leads himself. And that man doesn't beg for attention. He draws it naturally. Most men are too focused on external game, what to say, what to wear, what to text. But none of that matters if your foundation is shaky. When your internal frame is solid, your external moves don't need to be perfect. She doesn't remember the lines. She remembers the presence. Let's go deeper into how to internalize this, because knowing it isn't enough. You have to live it. Start small. Stop over-explaining yourself. Hold eye contact 1 second longer than you're used to. Say less and observe more. Set one boundary and actually keep it. Do something uncomfortable and don't flinch. These are your reps. These are your rituals. This isn't a performance. You're not trying to impress. You're aligning with something more grounded, more still, more real. The more you practice these traits, the less you care about external validation. And the less you need it, the more you get it. That's the paradox. Women notice when a man is different, not louder, not flashier, just stable, controlled, unmoved. That's rare, that's valuable, and that's what pulls them in deeper, without trying. This isn't about tricking her into liking you. It's about becoming someone she can't help but notice. Remember, women are intuitive. They don't just hear what you say, they feel what you carry. They respond to energy before words, presence before performance. If you're solid within, they'll feel it. If you're chasing something outside yourself, they'll feel that too. This is why Stoic psychology matters. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about mastering it. It's about becoming the kind of man who can sit in discomfort, lead without noise, and stay calm in chaos. That kind of man isn't common, but he's unforgettable. Each of these traits is a piece of that identity. You don't need all of them overnight. Start with one, build from there. The key is to stop performing and start aligning. Because when you become rooted in who you are, everything else begins to orbit around you. Let's close with one simple reminder that ties it all together. You don't chase attraction, you embody it. When you lead with emotional control, presence, purpose, and quiet strength, you stop competing, you stop convincing, you simply become. That's the real shift. These 7 traits won't just change how women respond to you. They'll change how you respond to life. You'll stop reacting. You'll start leading. You'll move with clarity, speak with weight, and walk with standards. And once you start living this way, there's no going back. You'll see it in how women look at you, how people speak to you, how the world adjusts to your presence. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped needing it. Which of these traits do you feel you already have? And which one are you working on right now? Let me know in the comments.